Lately, I don't dream about Anthony anymore. I dream about the roundabout. Most people don't even know what roundabouts are, but that's because most towns have the most modern of inventions to deal with traffic. Stoplights. But not here. Instead, some genius decided however many years ago to put in this big circle with all of the main roads feeding into it, and then just sat back and watched as people crashed to their deaths attempting to negotiate it. My first experience with the roundabout was when I was 7. "Oh my God!" my mother shrieked and pushed her glasses up the bridge of her nose. "What is this?" And the answer came in the form of a loud and patient beep from behind us. Are you good at making decisions? Are you able to make them in a timely manner? And are the outcomes you get what they should be? What's your process to making a decision? Do you listen to what your gut tells you or what your heart tells you? Or, in those few rare occasions, what your head tells you? We all make decisions every single day, and some can be quite trivial while others change the direction of our lives. In Infinity by Sarah Dessen, a young girl ponders her ability to make her own decisions. Infinity by Sarah Dessen. I'm merging! And we got stuck on the inside track for 2 more turns, just watching our exit go by before my mother jerked the wheel to the right, sending us in its general direction, and that was when the station wagon hit us. The entire episode ended with my mother swearing to never do the roundabout ever again, which at the time seemed somewhat overdramatic until I realized she meant it. My boyfriend Anthony is very good at the roundabout. In fact, since I got my permit, we spent a lot of time practicing together. Okay, the first thing you're gonna do is turn to the left here. Okay, now. And I did, just as my mother had all those years prior. But this time there was nobody coming, so it was no problem. See, Anthony said piece of cake, right? Right. Of course, this was okay, I thought. Like a merry-go-round, only faster. But it was a trial run, and trial runs are always easier. You did good tonight, Anthony said, and then he leaned over and kissed me. And I knew he would. Trial run after trial run. As what came with the roundabout, what came next seemed obvious and scary and overall inevitable. I'm so proud of you, my mother said one night when I came out of the DMV office holding my brand new license. You know, you don't have to do the roundabout right away. I know, I said, but I think I should just go ahead and get it over with. I could do this. It wasn't any different from practicing with Anthony. The traffic was just picking up now, and the last intersection was coming up ahead of us. There was a honk a few cars back, not at us, but loud. Nonetheless, and I have to admit it threw me, sending a quick hot flush up the back of my neck. And it didn't help, of course, that my mother's gasp was loud enough for me to hear over the wind blowing through my not quite shut window, and just like that, I lost my confidence. My hand reaching up to hit the right turn signal, as if it made the choice all by itself. It's okay. You can do it when you're ready. But I was angry with myself. It seemed like a bad way to begin things, with a false start. Abort so close to takeoff. And as in doing so, set a precedent that would echo like the sound of my mother's gasp. It felt as if from 16 on I was doomed to be ruled by indecision. And I avoided the roundabout for a week and a half. There were several almosts, most of them with Anthony in the car, pep-talking me like a motivational coach. And as we coasted up to the roundabout ahead signs, I always hit that last possible right turn. Well, Anthony would just shake his head and say nothing. I just don't understand why you don't want to, he asked me one night as we sat looking at the water. I want it to be right. But how can this not be right? Moonlight, check. Crashing waves, check. I love you, check. You love me. It took me a second, but only a second, to realize that it was my turn to say something. Check! But he glared at me, as if this explained everything. As the days passed, I found myself consistently taking the long way everywhere. I was frustrated with all of these decisions. A part of me wanted to barrel into the roundabout blindfolded, pushing the gas pedal hard, and let whatever was going to happen just happen. Anything for it to be over. The same part was so close into giving in to Anthony's pleadings. Finally just wanting to relax against the seat and let him do what he wanted. Finally give it all up and ease myself of these burdens. Scenario number 1, of course, was stupid. I'd cause a multi-car pileup and kill myself. As far as number 2, well, it was harder to say. What would change? There wouldn't be physical damage, dented bumpers or crumpled hoods, but something in me would be different, even if nobody else could tell. The fall carnival appeared in one afternoon with a huge Ferris wheel. I used my money to buy tickets and a funnel cake for Anthony and me. When we were at the very top, Anthony was pressing against me, heartily caring that this was not the time and not the place. All those nights when I'd pushed him away at the beach, I hadn't exactly known why, just that it hadn't felt right. I wanted to still have choices, to know that at any moment I could still take the long way home. Sure, there was a quick way to everywhere, but sometimes when you took the shortcut, you missed the view. I want you, he whispered. I love you. But it wasn't enough. As I pushed him away, I knew that the right time would never come. Anthony was tired of losing at this game. If he couldn't have me, he'd move on to an easier prize. The ride hadn't even come to a full stop when he pushed the safety bar away from us and climbed out. Well, I took my time, telling myself to pay attention to how the earth felt beneath me and to not take it for granted anymore. I had left, and I already felt more relaxed. Maybe all it took was time to let the news soak in. It was all the pressure that was so hard, those little nudges forward. Poke, poke, poke! If you sat back and let it come to you, it would. When I made it to the light, I hit my blinker, signaling the right turn I had always taken. But this time I didn't feel that burning burst of shame in it. I just remembered the view from the top. All the roads led to one another eventually. I always got home. There was a feeling of freedom and knowing that my choice was okay. But even so, at the last minute, I turned my wheel to the left, surprising even myself. And this was the moment I usually got dumb scared and petrified, but this time I only moved forward. I looked in my mirror and I saw the Ferris wheel. Another circle, another infinity that I was only beginning to understand. I turned my wheel and I felt the rush of accomplishment and speed. It was happening so fast, but I was there, right there, alive, wanting this moment to be like Ferris wheels and roundabouts and circulars of this life and others. Never ending.